everyone? We are live at 5 here at Broadway.com. It is Tuesday, May 21st. I'm Paul Wontorek.
And I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And we're joined by Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
And OMG.
Big star.
Fantastic.
Big star here
Tony,
today, yes.
7-time Tony nominee.
Absolutely.
1-time Tony winner. We love her. You love her. Kelli O'Hara is here.
Yes.
Currently nominated for Kiss Me Kate. Can't wait to talk to her. But first, today's top 5.
Casting has been announced for this upcoming Broadway play.
The upcoming Broadway play is Tracy Letts' new play. It is the New York premiere of Tracy Letts' dark comedy Linda Vista, which will be happening at Second Stage.
Or maybe Linda Vista.
Or it could be Linda Vista, but
know.
No, you could absolutely be right. Leading the cast is Ian Barford, who is an alum, of course, of Tracy Letts' August Osage County. He will be joined by Sally Murphy, Jim True Frost, Troy West, Carolyn Neff, Cora Vander Broek, and Chantal Toohey will all be joining the production. It'll be directed by Dexter Bullard. Here's a little bit about what Linda Vista or Linda Vista is all
Sorry,
about.
I started something.
It follows a 50-year-old divorcee in the throes of a midlife spiral, just out of his ex-wife's garage and into a place of his own. Wheeler starts on a path towards self-discovery, navigating blind dates, old friends, and new love. It'll be happening at the Helen Hayes Theater, beginning previews on September 19th, and will officially open on October 10th. A new Tracy Letts work, always.
Well, and he's currently acting
Currently,
on
of
Broadway.
course, in All My Sons,
Yes.
giving a tremendous performance. We love Tracy Letts.
Another day, another round of fresh winners.
Yes, so last night was the Obie Awards, which are the most prestigious Off-Broadway awards, in my opinion. And it's, of course, presented by the Village Voice and the American Theater Wing. And this is the 64th annual. And Heidi Schreck's What the Constitution Means to Me won for Best New American Play. Of course, it started down at New York Theater Workshop.
Right.
Before
Yep.
coming to the Broadway stage, where it's a big Tony nominee, obviously.
Absolutely.
Also, Daniel Fish and the creative team behind Oklahoma were given a special citation. Mia Barron won for Hurricane Diane. A lot of people won, but we're going to give you some highlights. Francis Jew, fantastic Francis Jew,
Yes.
who was here talking about Wild Goose Dreams. He was honored. Who else? Quincy Tyler Bernstein was given a Sustained Excellence of Performance Award. Rachel Bloom hosted. It was really great. Go to Broadway.com and see all the winners. And then tomorrow we're going to have some great exclusive photographs.
Yes.
And casting has been announced for this off-Broadway show that is so good you need to say the name 6 times.
You do. Yes. Thank you, Hallie Pfeiffer, for giving us the newest
Oh,
comedy.
I forgot about this one.
That's right. It's called Moscow, 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 Moscow is the name of this production. It'll be happening at MCC Theater's new Susan and Ronald Frankel Theater. Begins previews on June 27th. Will open on July 18th. Tony nominee Stephen Boyer will be leading the cast alongside Sass Goldberg, Greg Hildreth, Ryan Spahn, Tavi Gevinson, Aiko, Rebecca Henderson, Matthew Jeffers, Gene Jones, Alfredo Narciso, Chris Parfetti, and Ray Anthony Thompson.
That's a comedy cast.
That is a
clearly a
comedy,
comedy.
yeah, that's comedy hitters there. Trip Coleman will be directing, and this is a contemporary reimagining of Chekhov's Three Sisters. Sounds very interesting. So, yes, Moscow, 6 times. Very exciting.
And this dark drama is getting a West End revival.
Yes, she's speaking of Equus.
Yes.
About the boy that did the things to the horse. Peter Schaefer's dark psychological drama. It's returning to the West End. It is going to play at Trafalgar Studios. It's playing somewhere else currently, right? It's like a
so.
touring theater production.
Yes.
Anyway, it'll start July 6th on Broadway. Ethan Kai and Zubin Varla are playing the leads of Alan Strang and Martin Dysart with their 6 psychological. Just see it. It's crazy. It's a crazy play.
It really is.
Further casting to be announced.
And there's going to be 2 new bakers at the diner.
Yes, Waitress, of course, is playing not only on Broadway, but on the West End as well. And Lucy Jones, who was a musical theater alum, but also she was on Eurovision and X Factor. She was a contestant on both of those shows. She's going to be taking over the role of Jenna from Catherine McPhee. Catherine McPhee will play her final performance on June 15th, and Lucy Jones will start on June 17th. Also joining the cast is Ashley Roberts, who was in the band The Pussycat Dolls, or the girl group, rather.
group.
The girl group, The Pussycat
Don't ya?
Dolls.
Don't ya?
Don't ya? Yes,
Love that
absolutely.
song.
Yeah. She will be playing the role of Dawn in the show. This is Waitress is, of course, playing London's Adelphi Theatre. Jones has been seen on stage in Rent, Ghost, and Legally Blonde, so she's got the musical theater bona fides. And in addition to being part of the Pussycat Dolls, Roberts was also a TV talent in the competition series Strictly Come Dancing.
There's so many of those competition shows in England.
I was
that
going
we
to
don't
say,
even
yes,
know about.
there are tons of them. Also on the site you can watch the newest episode of Sarah Styles' vlog, What's Gonna Happen?
What's going to happen?
Backstage at Tootsie with Sarah Styles, and that...
Wait, also,
Yeah.
we got some late news about Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice, which is something I'm interested in. This is a new musical based on the 1970s Swingers movie. Mm-hmm. Look it up. And it's being written by Duncan Sheik, and it's part of the new group's new season. What's interesting about it is that Duncan Sheik will be in the show
which is
every
fascinating.
night. That's kind of vague about how he'll be in the show. I don't think he's playing one of the 4 leads, but I don't know.
don't think so.
He's in it. And also it has a
cool.
book by Jonathan Mark Sherman, who's a playwright I adore. So that's a good...
Very
That's
cool.
going to be a show we're going to be watching.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank
It's
you,
time
Ryan.
for Kelly.
It
My
is time for
pleasure.
Kelly.
I've had fun.
Hey, Caitlin, as if they don't know, please tell everyone about today's guests.
Gladly, we have Tony winner Kelli O'Hara with us here in the studio today to talk all about earning her 7th Tony nomination for her leading role in Kiss Me, Kate, which is also nominated for Best Revival of a Musical. She previously won a Tony for her turn in The King and I, and other Broadway credits include nominated performances in Light in the Piazza, The Pajama Game, South Pacific, Nice Work If You Can Get It, Bridges of Madison County. Guys, we could talk about her all day long. We would be here forever because she's incredible. You may also recognize her from Accidental Wolf. Go watch it. And maybe 13 Reasons Why, if maybe you've heard of that small little show. Please follow her on social media at Kelli O'Hara and leave all of your questions in the comments below. Please welcome Kelli and Paul.
And Dracula.
Oh,
Don't forget
Dracula.
Dracula. Hi.
Caitlin.
So many things.
So many Tony-nominated
So many
performers.
things.
I don't like to leave any of the others out.
no.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So good to see you.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you.
You're in a pretty dress.
I just came from the.
You had a pretty event.
Yeah, the Tony nominee luncheon.
I know, and this is always like the event I want to hear about because it's no press allowed. It's just the nominees hanging and gossiping about the press, or what are you doing? What happens at this thing?
No, we just all pat ourselves on the back a lot and like really feel cool and our heads. No, it's just it's a nice meal, and we're at the Rainbow Room.
What'd you
and
eat?
It was a beautiful fish bronzino with a little
Bronzino, we
potato and asparagus.
We like that.
Started with like a grilled Caesar.
Okay.
Really
Cool.
delicious, and
Yeah.
a trio of beautiful desserts. Had
Okay.
a little white, a white wine
Oh, nice.
on
Okay.
show day, and some coffee.
And do you speak at this event? You do. Don't
No,
you?
no, that's the Drumling luncheon.
Oh, right.
There are some
That's a different one.
speakers. We had Katrina Lenk and Brian Stokes Mitchell and some other speakers, but then they announce everyone, and we all get a little certificate.
That's you. Oh, you got the certificate.
I got
today.
it.
You have a lot of those. Do you have them all somewhere?
I do. I have them very embarrassingly in this little corner where they fit nicely like this, and that's where yeah. I don't. It's not going to be a big display.
But is it like oh, I need one more. It looks off. I need one more.
No, it's
Yeah.
actually now it's
Now
all
it's-
and now
now
the
it's
7th
good.
is going to throw me off. Yeah, but now I'm going to have to get an 8.
See, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. We got to figure out number 8.
Yeah, yeah.
And who did you sit with today? That's always interesting.
I sat with one of the producers of Tootsie,
Uh-huh.
Scott. I sat with one of the producers of the Tonys.
Oh,
I
the
sat
producers.
with Eva
Nobazada.
Nobazada,
Okay.
and I'm trying to remember my table here.
That's all right.
Oh, Jeff Daniels.
Oh, wow. So it's always interesting how they like blend people. I
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
that's a bunch of different people. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
fun.
yes.
You're such a pro at the Tony thing.
Well, nobody's a pro at the Tony thing. I mean, they make you crazy and nervous and weird, but I am starting to feel more comfortable in my skin around because I love seeing friends and
Yeah.
and getting to see people that I wouldn't see because we're always just in our own shows,
Mm-hmm.
like in our own corner. But no, it doesn't ever get easier and less exciting. I mean, it's still it's a whole new group, and you know.
But you do. This is your first time going through it as a Tony winner.
That's true, which actually does make it. I'm a little more
Because in the
relaxed.
past, I feel like every time we would interview you around this time, we'd be like, Kelli, you're nominated again, Susan Lucci, Susan Lucci. Like,
I
when's it going to
know.
happen?
It's
you
such
know,
a
it was
bull-
kind of
yes,
like, and then it was like, this one's definitely.
Yeah.
And this year's done.
Yeah. Sorry, let everybody down.
It's not you.
No,
It's not you. It's us.
honestly though, I will be honest. It's this year. I love the show. I love the character
Yeah.
I'm playing. I'm proud of the performance. I wanted to get a Tony nomination. I'll be honest.
Sure.
But the pressure of it all feels way different.
Yeah.
It does. I don't know why we put pressure on ourselves to win a competition that is about apples and oranges, and there's no reason to feel badly about what you've done if you don't win. But you do, and then you want to win. And this year feels like, let's spread the wealth. I'm fine with it. I'm so happy. I'm gonna put on my pretty whatever I'm gonna wear and try to feel my best and be with my husband and celebrate everything.
You know what's cool? It's cool that little Carolyn's in your category.
Caitlin Kinnan. Oh, my little sweet
Carolyn,
Carolyn.
your daughter from Bridges of Madison County, my favorite
Yes.
musical ever.
She's my baby, and so
Isn't
every
it
time
crazy?
I see her, I'm like, "Honey, how are?" Like as if she's still my baby, and she's like, "Mom, I've been nominated for a Tony. Step off." No. It's actually really wonderful, and just the category in general.
Yeah.
I mean, Beth Level.
Yeah.
Who is, I mean. From a very early, I was like, oh, Beth. And then Stephanie's just like one of my dearest friends.
Yeah, you guys
and
worked together
Yes,
last
and
year.
so we're just like, honey, we basically grab each other's hands. Let's
Yeah.
walk through this together. And Eva's so beautifully talented. She was at my table today. So it's just, and we all had dinner together one night between shows, so we could just say, let's just cut the shite,
I like that
you know?
happens.
And anyway, it's a positive. It's all really good this year. I feel really calm.
What was the most stressful of all your past Tony nights?
I'll be honest. It was so Bridges of Madison County. My show had closed, so no one was there.
How did that
I was
show
sort
not
of
run
brokenhearted.
longer?
I just had this
still don't
conversation. I
understand.
feel
Do
like
you know? I just have to tell you. I listen to that cast album all the time. But I recently, I was at my house and I had a nice backyard, and it was like the first beautiful day, and I had big speakers. And I just played you. You were singing "Building a Home," and it's like the most beautiful. And I feel like you've blessed my land.
Well, thank you.
That's how beautiful that music is, though.
That's it.
It's
That's
so
it.
beautiful.
Well,
it's
thank
like,
Jason Robert Brown. I mean, the whole thing. I really believe me. That's still that is so much of my heart. Everything. I mean, thank
if you want to sing any of it, I won't stop you.
There's no. You know what I did last week? I love that song so much. For the Say Gala, I changed all the words to honor my dear friend Everett Bradley, and it so fit. It was to build these kids a home, you know.
Oh,
and I sang the
wow.
whole. They wanted me to sing an aria, and I didn't want to sing something that didn't have to do. So I hope Jason doesn't mind, but. It was such a it was so easy to change them and make it, and everyone loves. They don't know why they love that song, even if they've never heard it. It just builds and builds, and it was great.
No, please always sing that stuff.
I will always sing that stuff.
But you said that was a stressful year, just because the show was closed.
It was stressful because I wanted to celebrate something that meant more to me than most anything else in my life creatively. But I was there alone because Stephen Pasquale wasn't there with me.
I know.
The theater
fired
god
up.
should have that should have actually been, you've made a horrible decision and I curse you all, you know. But he wasn't there. There was no party after to go to with my cast.
Yeah.
I was proud of the role. Like that was just one of those years where I just felt so badly for our beautiful show,
Yeah.
you know. And we were closed, so
I know.
we were already closed up shop.
Yeah. How's the group over at Studio 54? It seems like a fun.
And then I should say I had jury duty the next morning in the rain.
Oh my.
I had to be there at 7 a.m. downtown with my pumps because my
Oh.
baby. They let me go because I had a baby. But go ahead. Okay. And Studio 54.
You have an amazing cast, and
I-
this seems
the-
like a show where you really want to have a fun group of people every night and just sort of play with it.
Hands down, hard work is like my biggest aphrodisiac. Like I'm attracted to it. I spot it. Someone who's working 120% every night, I'm like, you are my teammate. You know, every single person on that stage. I watch all of Too Darn Hot every night just so I can be filled up with what it means to love theater, to work hard even through complete fatigue. They're pushing through. They're so tired. It is the best group of people. And if someone's out, someone's got. I mean, that happens a lot at this level, but sometimes it's crazy. People are doing things they've never done. It is just extraordinary.
Yeah.
I love this cast.
Yeah. What's it been like? I know this is a role that you, I interviewed you before you started working on it, and this is a role that you had really thought about a lot, and you know, there's a lot of sort of pre-work. You knew you were doing it for many years. What is it like once you actually get in there and start doing it? Have you learned anything about the show? And obviously, it's a classic musical. It sort of functions on its own, although this new production found sort of new interesting ways to sort of play with the classic script. But what's it been like actually performing it every night?
Well, you know, I think it's interesting. sometimes you think, oh, we shouldn't do it because of the time we're in. I feel like the time we're in is actually making this show really interesting. That's how I feel, because all week I've been singing the line just straightforward. Don't forget, 'tis he who'll have the fun and thee the baby. Since that vote came out, little things like that just start to kind of really stick out. A light shines on them during I Hate Men.
Yeah.
Anything that is horribly misogynistic, which there is a lot, we see how the audience reacts of, wow, that is not okay anymore. There's all these moments of real obvious change we need to make, but then there's times when we actually can do something about it in the show. So I'm having a great time with it, and plus we're making people laugh. That feels really right now. I mean, I have no complaints about it. I think it was a real hard decision to do it, because I thought, should I do another revival? It's a very But for me to get to play kind of a ballsy woman and sing really high notes, which I don't ever get to do, that we just made up, that Gerald Moore helped me make up, that kind of stuff is just so much fun. We don't always get to do everything we want to get to do. We have to kind of fit in certain boxes. This makes me feel like I'm getting to stretch in many different directions.
I can't wait to hear the album.
Yeah, that we did the album very quickly on a day that, I'll just be honest, kids, I was very tired. And we didn't get to go punch in. We did it in the room with the orchestra. Couple of takes, whatever we got, it's going to have to go with it. So I'll let it be a representation of kind of where I was in this process, working hard, being proud, but it's not my clearest moment.
I'm not worried.
I'm still very proud of it. Yeah.
That comes out June 7th, I believe.
Good. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I saw that day on the Ghostlight Records website.
This
so
is
I'm
the man who
assuming
tells you about your life, because that's how good he is with the news.
So this show is running through the end of June,
June
right?
30.
And then what do you do? What's your summer? Are you going to chill out with the family?
4 weeks in Tokyo,
Ooh.
finishing up my King and I trilogy with Ken Watanabe and perhaps Ruthie. That was always, Tokyo was in the plans. Coming back, having a little break.
Okay.
I've got a big classical program with the Philharmonic
I
in September,
saw that.
which I'm working on
That's
already.
very highbrow. I love when you do the highbrow.
I don't know.
You're very highbrow, lowbrow. I like it.
I'm going to continue on that if I can. Anybody who'll let me. What I need is a little bit more lowbrow. So if anybody's
Let's
looking,
come up with something that.
please use your imaginations. I can go low. Speaking of that, Tracy Letts, I'm up for a play anytime you're ready to get going.
Okay.
Quincy Tyler Bernstein, we're doing a play together. We just decided the other day. We're just trying to think of what it is.
Cool.
What are some of the other announcements that you wanted to make, that you were making?
You want to just fit yourself into all the
I'm
news
trying
stories?
to fit myself into every single news
Well, I'm
story.
sure they would take you over that Bob
First
and
of all,
Carol
I can
and
play
Ted
a
and Alice.
50s divorcee.
Oh, yeah,
in
50s
Linda-
divorcee. Or the
Linda-
Swingers
Linda
musical.
Vista.
The Swingers musical,
Yeah,
I can
sure.
do that.
There's a lot. You can win an Obie award.
I,
Sure. You can just fit you into any of the news
no,
stories.
but anything. I just wanted to work. You know me. I just want to work
Yeah.
in anything. Can be here, there, whatever.
How are your kids?
They're so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. My son's almost 10.
They see the show?
Yeah, they came to opening. They come every weekend with me to the
Fun.
show, so they know it backwards, and they stand in the back sometimes. My daughter's 5, and she asks the wrong questions, like, why does she have 3 boyfriends? And they sing about Tom, Dick, a Dick, Dick, Sticks. So I'm thinking to myself, of all the roles I could be playing right when she's having her first inspiration, because she doesn't remember King and I. She only remembers Stephanie Styles in... She didn't care about me. She just loves the Princess Stephanie.
Right.
And so I'm thinking, these are the wrong messages that I'm sending. Really the wrong.
And is she flirty with Corbin Blue or Will Chase?
Are you kidding me? She loves Corbin. She loves Will Chase's little puppy that he brings. They're having a great. They love the theater. That's what they are.
It's
They
fun.
know now.
It's fun that they get to see that side of you.
Yes, I love that. I'm going to share it all with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm sure you guys have questions, and if you put them in the comments below, you will entertain them. Caitlin, what are the people saying?
Yes, we actually have the first question from a Miss Stephanie Styles.
Oh, we love her.
She says, she wants us to ask you what your favorite brand of coconut water is.
Oh, is this a thing?
She's trying to get me sponsored. How do I get? Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm Broadway's. No.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Broadway's Kelli O'Hara. How do I get through 8 shows a week? Harmless Harvest coconut water. It does me right every time. I don't have it. I practice so many times in the mirror. Please sponsor me, Harmless Harvest. I drink you all the time, and I'm spending my entire roundabout laureate paycheck on your coconut water because of Stephanie Styles introduced me to it. Please sponsor me.
We'll digitally add it to your hands.
Yes.
Yeah, well, in post. Why in post?
Thank you, That's a great
Thank you,
question,
Stephanie Styles. Good to hear from you.
Oh, you're awesome.
That is so funny. Okay. Okay. So Rob wants to know, what was your favorite thing from originating a role like Clara and then going into reviving roles such as all the Rodgers and Hammerstein? So how has it been to go from creating your own?
You balance
you
those
do a
two
lot.
things.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. I think that Kiss Me Kate after King and I is the first revival to revival that I've
Right.
tried to do.
Right.
But you know, when people have asked me this question, I honestly have to say I don't see them as different. The only thing is that the writer's in the room with a new show, so you can actually have a voice to maybe say, hey, does this sound better than this? Or what do you think about this? Can we try this? But even in Kiss Me Kate, Amanda Green had come on, and I could say, Scott Ellis, Amanda, what do you think about this? Could we try this instead? So in a way, you approach every single role as if it's a brand new person. And that's how I see it, as opposed to kind of being compared to the people who played it before. It's more like you're kind of joining the ranks and making it your own new, brand new thing. So they're all the same. I'm going to do it differently if I can. Yeah.
I love that. Kendra says, she asks, if you could go back to see any of your 7 Tony-nominated productions, which one would you want to see?
Shoot, if I was, I wouldn't want to see myself.
Yeah,
but,
you would
okay.
just see it.
But if I saw it, and I did get to see.
Can we
King and I-
remind everyone, Light in the Piazza, The Pajama Game, South Pacific, Nice Work If You Can Get It, The Bridges of Madison County, The King and I, Kiss Me Kate. This is an icon here. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh, that's
It's a
awesome.
lot to choose from.
That's awesome. Well, I will say that I did get to see King and I saw Maisie do it, which was amazing. And I got to see Light in the Piazza when I had gone to do Pajama Game, and I saw Katie Clark, who came in. So I finally got to see the power of Victoria Clark up from the front. Oh, my gosh. I think I might want to see, sometimes when you think of, oh, gosh, that's a hard question. Oh, you got me. I actually might want to see something like Nice Work If You Can Get It because of the laughs I have about the thoughts of how silly I looked when I was like on that bed, spread eagle.
Yes,
and
I
things.
remember that.
Because I can't, there's no videos of that or whatever that I know of. So anyway, I kind of want to see that because I remember laughing so hard with those cast members, Matthew and Chris Sullivan and Michael McGraw and Jennifer Lawrence Thompson. But ultimately, would I ever want to sit and see, I'm just going to go with that because I don't want to think too hard about Bridges of Madison. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I love that it means so much to you.
I love it.
It's so good. This kind of goes into that. So Adam asks, since your performances in South Pacific and The King and I were professionally recorded, what was it like performing for an audience with cameras filming as well?
You know, that's a great question. And you'd think that the finality of it, the forever of it would make you crazy. And I just could not invest in that. So I think for both of those filmings, and you film about 3 or 4 shows and then they take edits, you just do your show and hope that on one of those 4 you got something right, and you trust the process. You trust the process of the director, the film editors. It's kind of out of your hands what they piece together. The only thing that's in your hands is your performance that you do 8 shows a week. So you really laser focus in on just doing your job. You see the cameras, so there's a nerve-wracking element to that, but I just do my best.
Did you have to block it differently?
No. In fact, that's the camera block. They work on the camera blocking to
Right.
get. I do remember with South Pacific, there were a few things where Bart said, take this a little more intimately because
Right.
we're going to come in on your face.
Okay.
Because cameras can do a lot
Yeah.
now. So I took my direction, but
Right.
mostly it's just doing the show.
Cool.
Cool. So this will be our last question. So Alexandra asks, what has been the most surprising aspect of your career in theater so far?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, we have 50, whatever. I don't have enough time to answer the most surprising is that, I'll say something. I've been thinking about it today. I never saw the Tony Awards until I was 20.
Till you were
3.
working. You were on a...
I watched it because Kristen Chenoweth was winning
Right.
for Charlie Brown.
And you had the same
And
voice
I had the
teacher,
same
right?
voice teacher. I didn't know about the Tony Awards. I knew about theater because of my little home musicals. I knew about movie musicals. I knew that I loved being on the stage, but I didn't know what the Tony Awards were, so I didn't care. So the biggest surprise in my life is that the Tony Awards have become such a big part of my career, because I promised to God I would be right here where I am, still doing any show they would let me do without any award to inspire me, because I came here to have that dream. The dream was not the Tony, the dream was the work, and the dream continues to be the work. So the most surprising aspect is that it's even a part of my life, and I'm grateful as all get out, but I will still be here any day you'll let me be.
You're fantastic. You can come here any day you want. What are you going to wear?
I'm going to host live at 5.
You can host any time. We're always looking for
You can
hosts.
come whenever you want.
You looked gorgeous when you won your Tony, and your gold and some flowers.
Oscar
and
de la
the gold.
Renta, yeah.
What are you going to wear this year? Did you figure it out
I
yet?
have no idea.
Is everyone knocking down your door?
I am shaking in my boots. No, and they never really have. But Jeff Mashi, who designed our beautiful costumes for Kiss Me Kate, he's been helping me. He found this Donna Karen, and he's been helping me. And there may be something built we're discussing, or there might be some other designers that I really love and would love to wear. So we're narrowing it down.
Okay.
I just want to be comfortable and have a great time that night.
I want you to have a great time too. Are you performing?
You know what? I have chosen not to. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
You just did.
I'm going to introduce my beautiful dancing cast.
Ah, okay.
Because that is what needs to be seen.
And that's what
in
you watch
American
every night.
households. I watch it every night, so I'm so proud to announce it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and that way I don't have to change my hair.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I would do it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank
It's
you,
lovely to
Paul.
have you. Please stop by anytime. You just knock on the door and we'll let you in.
Well, don't be sorry you said that.
Hey, Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single weekday here on Facebook. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts by searching for #live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow when we talk to Tony nominee Casey Nicola all about the prom.